This educational video uses AI-assisted historical illustrations, narration voice, music, and editing. The images are symbolic visualizations and should not be understood as documentary footage or exact historical reconstructions. Imagine that a stranger approaches you and says, "Your request has been denied." You might ask who gave that person the right to decide, but place the same message on an official form, add a government seal, a reference number, and a signature, and it suddenly carries authority. Why can a document command obedience more effectively than a human voice? Max Weber helps us answer this question. He showed that modern power often communicates through offices, rules, titles, and procedures, rather than through personal persuasion. Max Weber was born in 1864 and lived through the rapid growth of industrial capitalism, professional administration, modern law, and the German nation-state. Railways followed timetables, factories divided work into specialized tasks, governments collected information through files and statistics, universities trained experts for increasingly technical occupations. Weber wanted to understand the kind of society emerging from these changes. His question was not simply whether modern life was improving. He asked how calculation, expertise, and organized administration were transforming power, freedom, and human meaning. Weber described this larger transformation as rationalization. Here, rational does not simply mean intelligent or morally correct. It means that action is increasingly organized through calculation, specialized knowledge, predictable rules, and the selection of efficient means to reach a defined goal. A decision once based on custom or personal judgment may become a standardized procedure. A local practice may become a written regulation. Rationalization makes complex coordination possible, but it also changes what society recognizes as a valid reason, an official fact, or an acceptable decision. In Weber's work, rationalization is a defining tension of modernity. In Economy and Society, Weber distinguished three ideal types of legitimate authority. Traditional authority rests on established customs. People obey because an order is believed to have existed for generations. Charismatic authority rests on devotion to a leader regarded as extraordinary. Rational legal authority rests on confidence in formal rules and legally defined offices. These are ideal types, analytical models used to compare reality, not perfect descriptions of every society. Actual institutions often combine all three. A modern president, for example, may hold a legal office while also drawing upon tradition and personal charisma. Rational legal authority does not ask us to obey an official because that person is noble, heroic, or personally inspiring. We obey because the official occupies a recognized position within a system of rules. When the person leaves the job, the authority of the office continues. This separation between the individual and the position is essential to modern administration. The judge, professor, police officer, or civil servant is authorized to act only within a defined area of responsibility. Authority is therefore communicated through titles, credentials, jurisdictions, and procedures. Weber's bureaucracy can be understood as a communication system. It determines who may send an instruction, who must receive it, what form a message must take, and where the result will be recorded. A hierarchy creates reporting channels. Specialized offices divide complex problems into defined responsibilities. Written documents preserve decisions beyond the memory of any individual employee. Technical language distinguishes official communication from casual conversation. In this system, information does not merely move. It is filtered, classified, authorized, and transformed into an institutional record. For Weber, bureaucracy was not simply another word for delay or pointless paperwork. Compared with administration based on personal privilege, bureaucracy offered significant advantages. Written rules could make decisions more predictable. Records could preserve organizational memory. Specialized training could improve competence. The separation of office from private ownership could reduce the ruler's ability to treat public resources as personal property. Impersonal procedures might also limit favoritism by requiring similar cases to be treated according to similar standards. These qualities help explain why bureaucracy became central to governments, corporations, universities, hospitals, and other large organizations. The same impersonality that promises fairness can also produce distance and frustration. A person harmed by a decision may be told that the employee merely followed the rule, the department applied the policy, and the computer processed the information correctly. Each participant performs a limited responsibility, yet the whole system produces an outcome for which no one seems personally accountable. Communication becomes fragmented across offices, forms, and specialized vocabularies. The citizen may receive an answer without ever discovering who actually made the meaningful choice, or whether anyone understood the full situation. In The Protestant Ethic and the Spirit of Capitalism, Weber ended with a disturbing image, often translated as the iron cage. Systems created for practical purposes can become environments that define the limits of human life. Organizations begin to measure what is easy to count: speed, output, compliance, efficiency, and performance. But harder questions may disappear. Is the goal itself worthwhile? Who is excluded by the rule? Does the procedure respect human dignity? Weber was not arguing that society could simply abandon administration. He was warning that efficient means can become detached from meaningful ends. Today, bureaucracy increasingly operates through databases, automated forms, scoring systems, and artificial intelligence. An application may be ranked, flagged, approved, or rejected before a person examines it. The official statement, "the regulations do not allow it," becomes "the system automatically decided." Researchers studying algorithmic administration argue that AI can extend the long process of rationalization by making classification and optimization faster and more extensive. But algorithms do not eliminate human values. People still choose the categories, objectives, data, and acceptable errors. The crucial question becomes, whose authority is speaking through the system? Weber matters to communication theory because he directs our attention beyond speeches and media messages. Institutions communicate power through categories, forms, records, professional language, and chains of command. These systems determine who has permission to speak, whose knowledge becomes official, which experiences fit an authorized category, and which claims remain invisible. Bureaucratic communication is never only about transmitting information. It creates institutional reality. A file can turn a person into a case. A title can turn a statement into an order. A classification can open a door or quietly close it. Max Weber showed that modern power does not always need a commanding voice. It can speak through a job title, a procedure, a document, or a system that appears neutral. Bureaucracy allows millions of people to coordinate their actions, but it can also hide choices behind technical language and divided responsibility. Weber therefore leaves us with questions that remain urgent. Who created the rule? What values does it contain? Who benefits from its efficiency? And when the system makes a harmful decision, who has the authority to challenge it? Weber helps us understand how communication works through institutions. In the next episode, George Herbert Mead turns our attention inward. How does communication shape the self? And how do we learn to see ourselves from the perspective of other people? Sources and further reading are listed in the video description. Thank you for watching.